everybody because you never know what someone's going through. So as a superwoman, we need to understand that that is very important. So I pray for you and your children. I pray that God will protect them because we need our black men. Don't we need our black men? You know, a strong black man brings a certain energy that as women we don't have because God created us to bring another kind of energy. But we have to work together and then we become a whole. So we need to understand we need our men, and as women, we need to let our young men be with their good fathers and not interrupt the manhood building.
Right.
And I'll give you an example of what I'm speaking of. There was a dear member of our church who since passed on, but crazy about her son. He was the youngest and only boy. And his father had left them when the boy was 8 years old. But he came back about 5 or 6 years later and really became part of his son's life. And so the young man was in college and had done some things he should not have done. And so the father was really getting on him. He was being, very intent on teaching him a lesson. I mean, not physical, but just very intent on how he was dealing with him. And so the mother, came to church and she was upset. She said, I just can't take this. He better stop messing with him. And, he's just being too harsh. And I said, you need to leave that alone. And so she said, you think so? I said, yes. I said, he's trying to teach him to become a man. You don't want him not to know how to be a man. And so then she thought, I didn't know what I was talking about, so she went to my husband. And she said the same thing. He said, you need to leave that alone. You get out of it. So she did. And then she came back later and she said, you were right. Because a lot of times women were so protective, and we want to protect, but you don't understand. To be a young man, you need to know the struggle. You need to know how to be hungry, so you go after what you need and what you want. And a lot of times as women, we soften our boys. And I'm sorry, I just don't want a soft man. I want someone that can stand up, that knows how to handle business, knows how to treat a woman, and knows how to make his way and make his own money. So, his own money. So, I don't have a son, I'm just saying. I am praying, God, make sure the right man is raised up for my daughter. But anyway, regardless of what's going on, as superwomen, I do want to remind you, you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to stop and take care of yourself. I learned so much during the 2 years when I was told I would never have a child. I went to 5 different physicians, and they all gave me horror stories, how I was going to get lupus, I had less than a 5% chance of ever getting pregnant. If I got pregnant, I would lose a baby in the 8th month. It was just horrible stories. And so I just knew God had an answer for me. But I had to stop